All right. Had a hiccup. Now we're rolling. As soon as this. Let's see if this works. Do. Checking. Okay. We're good to go. All right. And now, let me do that. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan. I get stuff from garage sales, yard sales, thrift stores. Hopefully today a shop storage unit and various other places. Try to flip them and make a couple extra bucks online. If you notice, I got a new hat. This is from John over at Small Town Bookseller, who also sells the occasional hat. And I got this. I've been wanting to get a hat from him for a while. Just hadn't seen one I really wanted. And then he posted this one up on the. Honestly, coincidentally, the same day he gave me a neat shout out, and so it's a cobra, and it's like an embroidered cobra thing, and it says cobra on the back, and it's cool. And I have a hat. I think this is gonna be my Friday hat here on the channel. So that's my plan there. Today, 4 sales, bread and butter stuff that we'll go over. Some really cool finds yesterday in stuff, actually my preference is selling toys, and we'll go over that. So let's jump into it. Get going. All right, first up, from the Heresy box, this is The Key to Science and Theology, A Voice of Warning. This is a Mormon publication by which president? Parley Pratt. I don't think that was a Mormon president. Well, at least it looks nice. $10 for this book. $10 shipped. I got a batch of Mormon material. So I actually picked up some the other day too, of Mormon material that I put up for sale. Some of it sells, some of it doesn't. What I'd like to get my hands on to resell is some of the out-of-print Mormon stuff that, I'm not saying they don't want you to see it, but there is some stuff that is out of print that, as the Mormon church, it's just not in demand. I think the more, I hate to say it, but the more liberal the Mormon church gets, the less of some things that they're producing. So that is, and that's interesting to find some of this stuff sometimes, particularly the older it is. So don't pass it up if you're looking to resell it. I understand if you're not comfortable reselling it, but if you're into reselling it, don't pass it up, but look it up, because I've had some success with some, and I think I'm still sitting on a few things that just haven't moved. So there's that. Okay, next up, we're going to go, are we going to do 80s yet? No, we will go sci-fi. We'll go 70s sci-fi. Actually, kind of 80s too. Andre Norton, The Beastmaster. Sold this for $15. Science fiction paperback. Not a lot of Andre Norton sells. This is one of the few titles of his that does. He's a prolific author. But I think Beastmaster, this got made into a movie, late 70s, early 80s. And so this is sort of, I don't know if this is necessarily the first edition of that book, but it's a really early edition from the 70s that he wrote. And so this went for $15. So Next up, we're going to go into two sort of 80s series. This is Boxcar Children. Lot of 6 books. Went for $12 shipped. So call it $5 plus $8. I made a couple bucks here. As you know, I'm a fan of bundling. Boxcar Children does well the more you get, because you can get $2-ish a book, and through the miracle of media mail, the cost for shipping stays pretty low. So these are books that I buy no more than 50 cents a piece when I can get them, and I kind of stash them a little bit sometimes, but I haven't seen a whole lot of them lately, so I grab these when I can. So $2 a piece, got them at 50 cents a piece, came out okay. So Boxcar Children is a good one. Another good series to grab, and this one is a little bit better. Sweet Valley High books, and these were eight of these for $25. I actually was a little surprised this went for that much. So I don't know if there's a rare one in here or if I missed something or whatever, but 1980 Sweet Valley High, 8 times 3 is 24. So $3 a piece, give or take, for this set, for this series. I've had pretty good success. I grab them when I can. Thankfully, usefully, usually they show up in big batches. I want to say I got like 50, 70 of them last year, all at one time. Somebody donated like their entire collection or something all at once. And I managed to flip those pretty well, pretty quickly too. Both this and the Boxcar Children I posted 2 or 3 days ago. So these all flipped pretty quickly. And that was good. So there is all of that going on. Now, for my finds. Had a pretty good finds day the last couple of days. And we will see how it shakes out. First thing I found was Wednesday. I got a case full of Hot Wheels cars. Love Hot Wheels cars. They pack up and ship easily. They're easy to look up. They store easy. So I managed to get a big... And if you can find a batch of Hot Wheels, particularly at a thrift store, usually there's a couple in there that are worth something. We're about to go over that. I spent $25 for about around 50 cars, which is a little more than I like to spend, but I had to open the case up. It wasn't like it was in a big plastic bag. Had to open the case up, saw a couple cars, and said, I'll do it, and let's see what happens. So, most of the cars right here aren't worth a ton. So these will go to the flea market for about 50 cents a piece. Kids love them. But what I snagged that was in there, and we'll go over some of these. Some of the finds. I'm going to go over the finds that aren't worth as much, but I still think are pretty cool. These are some Zilmex tanks. I think these have been painted by somebody, but I'll probably try and flip them. I'll probably try to get about $20 for these 3, and we'll see how they do. I need to get those listed. But there were some older Matchbox in there, and I think this is an old play art. So these cars, these are worth $1 or $2 a piece. Like out at a flea market, I actually may lot them up. I've got a couple more older Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars that don't have a whole ton of value in and of themselves, but they can lot up well if you get the old ones that are in pretty good shape. I've sold old ones that are in not good shape and still gotten a little bit out of them. But these are some pretty neat ones of those. The ones that I listed were even more fun. So let me find them. We're getting to the figures. We're going to get to action figures. We're going to do the cars first. First, this is a neat car, I thought. Now, this is It's a Hot Wheels called Speed Bump. Now, there are about 3 or 4 versions of this car. This is the rarest one. Goes for 15 to 20 bucks. It was apparently some sort of 2-pack that this car came in. This car is not like smushed. This car was built like this, I think, for like the monster trucks or something like that. So, this is sort of this gold version came in like a rare 2-pack. So that's why this is the version of that. So 15 to 20 bucks, possibly. This next one, this is a Heritage Redline Hot Wheels, $10 to $15, I think. Camaro Z28, real neat color, real neat wheels. So that one, I was. This is one of the ones that I saw. I was like, I'm gonna grab that box that I saw. So this is a more modern Redline, which aren't quite worth as much unless they're super rare. So, well, then, and finally, the gem of the bunch. This is a Play Art Schwimmwagen. Schwimmwagen. That's what it says on the bottom. You see that? Schwimmwagen. Put it right side up. Schwimmwagen. The stickers are a little messed up on it, but it doesn't look like it's broke. Doesn't look like it's missing any like the little plastic pieces on it. So it's a fun little car. $25. So I'm hoping to get that for it. Each of these. So I spent $20 on that, and out of 3 cars, I'll make my money back plus probably start getting the profit. So fun stuff to find. Love this stuff. My preference, I do a ton of books because they're easy and cheap, and not a lot of people know about them, on doing the resales on them. As you can tell back here, I much prefer moving toys. They're a lot more. They're just more fun to find and to go. There's a little more value to them when you find the right ones. So that's all good. I think if I had my preference, I would just do toys, but too many people are aware of the value of a lot of them, and so people kind of know what they got when it comes to toys. They don't necessarily when it comes to books. All right, so on to the really good stuff. I went to a thrift store yesterday, and it's one of the local thrift stores that puts like 3 or 4 toys in a little bag and sells them for $2 or $3 or $4. So I started going through it, and I found like, ooh, there's a Rambo. I found Rambo. This is actually not that expensive of a toy. The 1980s Coleco Rambo action figures. These are actually more based on the cartoon than the movie, because the movies aren't for kids. But the cartoon was, and it was kind of weird that they, like RoboCop and Rambo toys. Like they made a cartoon, like a barely PG cartoon out of R-rated figures. So R-rated characters. So Sly's gonna go up here somewhere and hang out in the background while I've got him up for sale. Next up is, I'm going to keep getting you all this because I'm not going to get you. These were fun. These aren't worth a ton. I'm going to go this guy first. This is some sort of chevron figure with a barrel. This guy's not worth a ton. I'll probably lot him up with some other. I've got a box up there that I'm kind of throwing the less valuable 70s and 80s stuff that's worth a $1 or $2 a piece. And I'll lot those up and either bring them out to the flea market or throw them on eBay in a lot. That's where this guy's going to go. And these guys can be worth a little bit more depending on which ones they are. This is Fisher-Price Adventure People. I've got a couple of these guys, so I need to get a lot together and sell them. What you really want is the space ones, because there's some really cool looking alien guys that are worth a ton of money. This guy probably, I don't even know if I could sell him by himself. This is like a $3 to $5 figure. I think they kind of range in there depending on the condition and which ones they are. So I got a couple more. Folks will collect these. This is a really fun set. The toys, the vehicles to the Adventure People are really neat and really well built. And if you find any of those are like, I think I got a couple of my kids play with actually, because they're really sturdy vehicles, and so if they weren't left out in the sun or something too much, or up in the ag too much with the heat where the plastic breaks down, they're just made well. Fun little fact: if you go watch if you go watch, I think the Star Wars Toys That Made Us series on Netflix, what you'll find out is the prototype Star Wars figures from the late 70s when Kenner was trying to figure the line out were actually designed with modified adventure people. And that's what this guy is. So, same size as G.I. Joe's, not as posable. And so there's some Tonka ones that are very similar molds. So, that's what that is. All right. Now to the good stuff. G.I. Joe. This is Backblast. This is about a $10 figure. Again, he was in one of those bags. I saw that Rambo. I was like, I need to start scouring. I did. Found this guy and those other 1980s. So this is Backblast. Good condition. Probably needs a new O-ring. If I get around to it, I'll do it. If I don't, that's fine too. It's not so degraded that he's coming apart. It's just his waist is just a little loose. So I am not going to replace necessarily spend a lot of time replacing the O-ring on this guy. Good paint, good figure. For the gem of the bunch. This is a 1988 Lieutenant Falcon Night Force action figure. This figure ranges between $60 and $80 with no accessories. Why? The Night Force figures, these are repaints of, I think his original figure was an 87 figure. The Night Force, some of them had, G.I. Joe had several subsets, different teams for different stuff, Tiger Force and Python Patrol and that sort of thing. This one was called Night Force. The Night Force figures are some of the slightly more rare some of the subsets, and I have sold a couple, and the individual figures without accessories can bring some pretty interesting money. So that is legitimately a $60 to $80 figure, and that was a couple dollars fine, and it'll go throw it on eBay and see how it goes. So that was real happy to find. I hadn't found been several months before I think I've found any 80s toys with any value that I could really flip. I think I found some earlier this year at that same thrift store and was able to do it. So that made me happy. So there you go. That was it today. Hopefully today, I'm hoping to hear back in a little while. There's a guy posted on Facebook Marketplace. He's got a storage unit he's looking to clear out. And he mentioned some of the magic words of comic books and Hot Wheels. And we will see what he has. He posted up a couple of interesting pieces of furniture that I may grab as well if he can get back to me, and hopefully today or early tomorrow. And we will see how that shakes out. Again, thanks to John for the hat. And thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And happy hunting out there.